He calls himself a nutritarian. Dr. Joel Furman says his diet will end your dieting days.
So a nutritarian, or a person who's following a nutritarian diet, or one who's trying to eat foods that are high in nutrients to live a longer, healthier life.
The American doctor spells it out in his latest book, The End of Dieting. His plan revolves around what he calls G-bombs: greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. Okay, so what makes your plan and your book different from the other ones out that are trying to get me to jump onto their idea and their way?
The difference is I'm saying that most popular diets are dangerous. Like take for example, the high protein or the paleo type diets. We know that as animal protein goes up in the diet, so do cancer rates. Nobody can disagree that eating more beans and mushrooms and onions and fruits and vegetables not just lower your weight, but reduce risk of later life disease like heart attack and cancer.
Registered dietitian Cara Rosenbloom agrees fruits and veggies are great, yet she's not sold on Dr. Furman's plan.
I'm always skeptical of diets where the website comes along with you having to buy something, whether it's a book or a program or supplements.
She recommends whole foods made in your kitchen. Fish, chicken, beef, dairy products, colorful veggies and fruits, and whole grains.
There's not one bad food that is always going to cause disease. There's not one nutrient that's responsible for the obesity epidemic, for the heart disease epidemic, for causing diabetes. It's everything that you put into your diet.
And we all know that we need to think more about what we're putting in our bodies and the purpose that it serves. Food is really supposed to fuel us, Leslie, and a lot of times we use it because, well, it's yummy and we like it and maybe we're tired or just want a little bit of a treat. So we're all guilty of that, right? So that's really what it comes down to. And people need to be very cautious around limiting different foods because everything we do eat, especially when it comes to, you know, a balanced diet, serves a role for your body. It's really about don't eat too much of one thing.
And I know that there's an interesting stat that you just shared with me, which is going to be shocking to a lot of people, about the amount of time we spend preparing dinner.
Okay, so when we talk about time, because it's a time crunch for everyone, the average amount of time that a Canadian spends making dinner is 15 minutes. Now, if you think about it, if you spent even just a half an hour preparing your meal, you'd have a much healthier meal, and you could probably spend an hour and make tomorrow's meal and stick it in the fridge.
It's interesting because a lot of moms out there are saying, but I don't have the time. Well, and Chef Michael Smith, the great Canadian chef, we had him on the morning show a couple weeks back, and he actually gets the whole family involved. So the kids are cracking the eggs with them. They actually go to the grocery store on Saturday and say, okay, kids, you pick the veggies, you pick the fruits, whatever.
And it sounds so complicated to spend an evening where you do, you know, veggie prep and all that kind of stuff. But if you can carve out a little bit of time, it will make a huge impact on your health as far as, you know, the overall time that you're eating and what you're eating. But again, you know, add a little exercise into that, and that is going to be what's going to keep you slim and healthy.
Don't worry about dieting anymore. There's a little stress off our back. Thanks, Crystal.